Probably get a lot more clicking typing. Right, so hunt targets there, good. Chatter, good. Hunt target found, good. Extra is coming in, good. AQ set coming in a second. There we go. Pre-scripted. So in this they come in automatically, it's just part of this hunt. It's scripted, so you know they do chatter when they start to die, and after a few seconds AQ come in. This is the same hunt as yesterday, yeah, I was just testing changes. I also was working on
Deep array scans have found a large fleet of Night Raven pirates gathered in open space.
So raids are...
AQ Security is requesting help from any available commanders.
Okay, shut up a sec. These areas are normal areas of space, which
An asteroid
fly
field
around.
with a warp.
The hunts are solo areas. I was saying that actually, no, they're not really. They are... Yeah, at the moment they are solo areas, so you won't find other people in these. The raids...
Deep array scans have found a large fleet of Night Raven pirates gathered in void
but
space.
with your wing.
AQ
So along with flying around with your corporation and random people, you can create a wing. Da-da-da-da, and ignore the interface. So your wing is just like a temporary little group. Whoever's in your wing will be highlighted on the map, and you can get bonuses if you've got certain skills in wing command. There's also in-game voice with wings, which should work cross-platform. You can obviously toggle it on and off, and on PC you can do like push to talk and things like that, which is just nice. When you're in a wing with other people, you will share rewards as well. So if you've got someone who wants to play like a guardian or something, run around protecting everyone, they're not going to get any kills, but they will still contribute. So the idea is wings will take care of that. If you're in a wing with someone and they shoot up everyone, then you get the rewards as well. Are they shared equally? I think so. I think the wing kind of acts as like one rewardee, as it were. So the wing gets a share, and then all the wing members, I think it's split evenly. I think. Can't remember how I've done it in a minute, but that's the plan anyway. But let's say you were flying around the wing and you come across another bunch of people fighting, and you join in on that and kill someone. You might only do like 10% of the damage on that. Then your wing will only get 10% of the rewards for it, and then it'll be split evenly amongst the wing. So yeah, wings are cool. Wings are good, but wings also mean that you can take on
Deep
these
array scans have found
areas,
a large fleet of Night Raven
like the raids, with other players rather than random players. So yeah, I was just testing some of this today. If we walk to the raid, I don't know what the wing size limit is. I haven't decided or tested. At the minute it's unlimited. Hey Spaz. So this was a little test of a raid of there being a bunch of ships, and then boom, 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 AQ set comes to your rescue. Yeah, mate. Oh, that's fine. That's good. This at the minute was just testing whether I have things spawn in on the timers or like based on reaction, and then just slowly testing here, you might fight this pirate, then they'll spawn in a gate or something. I'll turn the game all the way down. I gotta get used to these audio settings. Anyway, I'll restart that. So yeah, raids at the minute are just little tests for me, but the idea is that, you know, for this one you might come in, destroy a few pirates, and then another fleet of pirates might uncloak, and then, you know, you're forced to fight those or retreat. AQ set can come in and help, big fight, they deploy some turrets and things, and, like, you know, more story things and interesting bits going on rather than just flying in and fighting. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. I'll show you what happens when we die, I guess. Let's just start shooting. They're not chatting at the minute because I don't think there's random chatter enabled on this area. The skin for this ship is incomplete, so the damage is a bit weird. And I haven't got any like decals or anything on it. That's the new AML kicking off there with the little rapid fire cannons. Unfortunately, they're trying to shoot down Swarm, which doesn't really help. They can't do that very well. But I thought it was kind of cool having this like passive slot on your ship, like the AML is. At the moment, no, AML just fire at the nearest incoming missile, so they can be overwhelmed by swarms and things. But if you're up against someone just firing a few javelins at you, then it'll take them down. In terms of like the protector and stuff, what you're seeing on screen kind of just ignore, because all the ships are equipped with random weapons for testing and random fittings. The AI is pretty wonky on it as well. It'll only really use offensive weapons and the occasional repair ray and things. It won't use any auras or anything like that. I'm not going to die. Yeah, so I don't know about the built-in bonuses for certain ship types. I haven't got anything at the moment. All ships just have, you know, stats. You won't have like the Guardian giving a repair boost. It's not to say I won't do it. I'm just, while I'm at this stage, thinking whether or not that's the best way to go. Because I want the ship layouts to be quite flexible. I don't want people to go, the Guardian is just going to be repairer if you can fit it for some other purpose. But I mean, in terms of repairing and things, there are other new features that I can show you, maybe, if they're enabled in the market. Yeah, so like salvage ships, there's 3 ways of collecting loot at the minute. There's mining, that's not really loot. You can equip mining weapons and mine asteroids, as you would expect. And then there's salvage, so when a ship's destroyed, some of its fittings and weapons will be left over. You can equip a salvage laser and then extract those fittings into your cargo hold. You can also deconstruct ships, which will remove the wreckage. Deconstructing a ship will give you back like raw materials like ores, metals, things like that. So, for example, a mining barge could have a bunch of mining turrets and then just, you know, one deconstruction laser or something. It'll all go into the ore hold. And the cargo holds for things that aren't ores. Recovering your ship. So at the minute, let's see if I've got any mail. At the minute you get a kill feed thing saying what you lost, who you lost it to. and then through this, I mean at the minute I can't because this is too old and broken. Through here you can just go reclaim the ship. You will lose your cargo and your ore that was on the ship and any ammo, and you will lose any like black market weapons and fittings, but they're to be done. They're not in the game at the minute, but they're on the list. But otherwise you'll get the ship back as is, and there's no timer on it as well. So I mean these ships were lost earlier this year. You can still get them back. So if you can't afford the ship, you can just save up and then get it later on. What was I going to show you? What was I going to show you? Deployables. I've only got an ore probe available. Oh, do that anyway. Get a bunch of those. There are other deployables. I thought there was a deployable for healing there, but there isn't. No. So it should be in my station hold. So let's move it into the ship and jump out. Mining is like mining. That doesn't mean anything. And mining in AQ1 is obviously just like a bit of a little extra thing you can do. It's not really a core game mechanic. AQ2, yeah, you can do mining as like a career, I guess, because you can buy the mining ships, and there are new ships for mining, and there are new ships for trading as well. I think no, that's an Invicta. There's a padlock ship. I can't remember where it spawns, but it's like an armored trader. But yeah, mining will be more of a thing. The core regions on the map will have your basic ores, and then as you go further out, you'll find harder areas with rarer ores and things like that. So there's also an incentive for more established corporations to venture outwards from the starting areas and control space with more valuable ores and targets. So if I was mining, have I got a mining laser? I've got a mining laser. Let's go do some mining. I've got a mission in this one as well, so let's go there as well. There are mining missions, trade missions, and combat missions. You get a reputation in each of them. So when you take a mission from a NPC in a station, you'll receive reputation, which will go to one of these, which isn't really fleshed out yet, but it'll give you like a rank, and then those ranks allow you to access harder missions and things. The mining missions are, at the minute, like fetch quests, so someone will say, I need 100 ore from this sector, go get it me. And the trade ones are equally as boring at the minute, where they'll just be like, I want you to deliver 100 ore to this sector, but I'll make them better. But yeah, there are mining and trading missions. The combat ones are more fun at the minute, and that's what I'm focusing on for these updates. What was I showing you here? Some mining, right? So yeah, here's some asteroids. They've got a amount of ore in them, and they've got a purity to them. Purity is just how much ore you extract at one time, with then a little extra chance of getting a pure form of the ore, which is worth more. So yeah, if I was mining this, you'd just whack on your mining lasers, start blasting that asteroid, and it will start filling up your cargo hold, ore hold, sorry. It's quite fast at the minute because I'm just testing, and you can jettison ores you don't want. So I'm like, okay, yeah, don't really want that. Chuck it out. I'm just going to rechat a sec because I've been chatting with voice. Yeah, so the core sectors are protected by AQ security, so if you jump on another player in there, they'll come in and they'll wreck you up. So it's not advised. The sectors, like with the big regional stations, you can't fight in, so you can walk to those as like a safe zone. You know, it's like a AQ security lockdown. You can fight at the minute, but the plan is you won't be able to. Can you drop stuff to be able to pick up? No, not at the minute. It just disappears. It's no mean just yeah. Doesn't mean to say it's not possible. I have thought about dropping like cargo containers and things, which I was going to show you now. So I've got a bunch of ore probes, so I can deploy one of those, and it will appear in space. There's my little Woody. He is then giving me a boost for ore mining, and these are temporary little deployables, but they are persistent. So if I left this area now and came back, he'd still be there. So in terms of like jettisoning cargo, you could deploy a container and then you could leave, come back, and it would still be there. That's perfectly possible. These things are all persistent. Anything you do basically persists. The same with the missions. Like if you do half a mission and then leave the area, or your phone dies or something, or crashes, whatever, internet goes down, the progress will be saved even during that mission. So yeah, little ore probe dude over there has got a range. It's just not shown in the normal view. It's that circle there. So anyone in your wing will get a boost from that probe as well, and it's also destroyable. So if someone wanted to come along and destroy it, could. Ship controls at the minute are really wonky. I can't get it to stop. Mining lasers with higher purity were slower. I don't know. I mean, all those kind of stats I'm just going to play with and see what happens. I mean, yeah, they could be slower if that's fun and that works out. The idea with the purity thing is just because you've got a limited size on your hold, you don't want to take away junk and stuff. So if you've got a mining laser that gets quite a lot of pure ore and you've got the time, you could sit there and just fill up your hold with pure ore, jettisoning all the rubbish ore. Transferring stuff to another ship. Yeah, as I say, transferring stuff to another ship could be done, I guess, if you were dropping containers and things. I just got to think about how that affects gameplay and cheating and things like that, Well, not cheating, I suppose. You could drop a bunch of ore for your friends. It makes sense if you've got someone with a transporter, I guess. Yeah, I'll look into that more. Changes are made for each ship. No, because I haven't solidified any of the changes at the minute. All the ships you see at the minute and all the weapon stats are just testing stats. All the destroyers have the same layout as each other in terms of slots and things. All the corvettes do as well. I haven't manually gone through and done that because I've added a bunch of ships, so I spent time on doing that. As new ships like the Invicta there. I really did mess up on this collision thing this morning. I really shouldn't be flying into the station like that. Yeah, a bunch of new ships, so I've just been spending time getting more stuff in. Is there a padlock? There's a padlock there. We've actually turning on ranges for normal view. Yeah, in terms of like toggling the interface and things, I've tried to keep this view quite clean. You've just kind of got a little bit of grid and these little helpers of where you're going. This view looks quite cluttered, but it does show your ranges. I'm going to play with it because at the minute, like if I'm targeting that asteroid hitting mining, and I'm targeting that one hitting mining, there's no real indication of which one I'm shooting at. Like if I go here, I can see, oh yeah, there's something shooting at that, and there's something shooting at that, but not individual weapons. So the whole interface does need updating with that respect. I think you can turn the interface off as well if you wanted to like record stuff. So I've got the ability to like toggle things like that. It's just setting it up. But that was more because I was recording videos for trailers and stuff. Not that I made a trailer yet because I'm not happy with anything. I'm never happy with anything. Pulse bomb. Yeah, I think pulse bomb's probably going to be about the same. So I'm keeping all the weapons from AQ1. I think I've got all the weapons from AQ1 in there. Yeah, aside from Javelin doesn't have that punch through effect. All the ones are in there. There are more as well. So there are I'll need to go back and buy one. There are other weapons. I'm being really non-descriptive. Sorry, there's other weapons, other things. I'm sniffing a bowl of Vicks as well at the minute to try and help my cold. Right, so turrets. Oh, that's a lot of turrets. Is it gonna load? I think I broke it. Right. Hang on a minute. Why is there a Prime subscription thing hanging around on the stream? I don't know what that is. Right, turrets, yeah. This is really too much. This is just for me testing. While I'm here, so turrets have quality, which is similar to AQ1. They go from F through to S. You can upgrade them at your workshop in your home base. And then they have tiers. So there's like the tier 1 Vulcan, tier 4 Vulcan, depending on your ship. So a Corvette might have like 2 tier 1 turrets. A Titan might have 4 tier 4 and a couple of tier 3s or whatever. Oh, so like artillery's new. It's like a really long-ranged kinetic weapon. What else have we got? What else is new? Oh, we've got the javelin. Yeah, it just doesn't do that extra effect. Deconstruction beam is new. That's for the wreck salvage thing. Yeah, 4 tiers for now. But one of the things I really want to do for AQ1 was that manual targeting thing, where you could like fire off a swarm at a certain area, like you could aim like a circle on the map. And I never got it working for AQ1 because of the way the engine worked. For AQ2 I do want to do that, so I'm thinking of like a 5th tier of like siege weaponry. You know, you've got one on a massive ship and it's like a, I'd say nuke, we've got e-nukes, like a massive like a railgun beam or something like that you'd manually aim, maybe like RPG style, where you know you can see a rectangle coming along the ship, so you know anything in that line is going to get absolutely wrecked in a second. Or yeah, firing a bunch of rockets into a circle area that you manually target. So yeah, I do want manual targeting. It's not done, but it is on my mind because yeah. What happened to the mic? Yeah, sorry if all the volumes are off. This is a new mic. Oh, me coughing. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Yeah, so engine dampener. That was one of the new turrets. Let's test that. Let's give that a test. I should have waited till my cold had gone before I started using this mic. Alright, so what do we want? Oh, so this window here will just show you what equipment can fit that slot when you click it. Engine dampener. Right, boom. So to get like techie, the way all weapons work at the minute is like you fire them and they're done. So you know, you fire your railgun, it does a shot, that's it, does some damage, the end. You fire a missile, it will create the projectile and it will hit in a certain amount of time and it's done. But the thing with like the engine dampener is I want to slow this guy down, and I want to do it constantly. So it's more like applying an effect to that ship. So if I activate the engine dampener now, it's not just it fires, it's done, it fires again, it's done. It has to constantly apply that effect. So it's a new system for AQ2. So when in range, it should constantly apply like a debuff to that ship. And these debuff things are also, like status effect things are new as well. Alright, he's running away, he's being annoying. Let's get this guy. Collision system again is a bit wonky. So I want to slow him down. Ignore the animation, that's just me testing like its cycle time. But that's now applying this status effect _8 _ tooltip. In other words, engine dampening. So he's now gone much slower. So it looks like something quite simple, but actually it was like a whole new way of doing something. Like status effect stuff. So yeah, there are new weapons like that. The reason why you want to slow someone down, beside the obvious keeping them near you, is that slower targets are easier to hit. I'm gonna change this collision system. It was a bad idea. I shouldn't turn that on this morning. Now I'm stuck. Yeah, you'll be able to change the speed of your ship. There are controls for like go to this location and stop, or orbit this location, or avoid this location, or follow this ship. They're all in there. The AI use those. There's just no player controls for that at the minute. Go gadget ship. Oh, you can squeeze through. No, there's no leading on weapons because they are instant. Like, I haven't got my pulse cannon on me. Stock and put another one on. So one of the things, I don't know if anyone remembers on AQ1, is there was a discussion around changing the accuracy of weapons or the damage of weapons when they hit beyond their optimum range. And it was something I investigated, but it was too big of a change to release. Like, it's kind of, completely game changing when suddenly all your weapons stats completely change, and it was really scary. So although possible, I couldn't bring myself to do it. But for AQ2, I've changed the way things like the pulse cannon work. So let's just take a Vulcan. So let's look at the stats again of that. So they have range, and they have a fall off and a tracking strength. So range is obvious. Anything within that range, it's kind of got your 100% accuracy, and then you've got an extra 50 meters here where it goes down to 0% accuracy. And then the tracking strength is at the minute like a simple stat of how accurate that. So the higher your tracking strength, the more accurate your weapon's going to be overall. And certain ships will have a sensor strength. Smaller ships have a very low sensor strength. Big ships have a very high sensor strength. So you need your tracking strength to be bigger than the sensor strength of the target, if that makes sense. Basically, small guns good against small ships, big guns good against big ships. But then small guns will still hit big ships. They're just small guns. But bigger guns will have more of a problem hitting smaller ships. And I'll just visually show you that. If I can find someone to shoot you, you're getting shot. So here's a little ship. This is a tier 4 Vulcan, so it's a big heavy version. So that hit him, that's fine. That missed. And against Turg, it's probably going to miss most of the time. There you go, the shots are missing more and more as I get further away. But if I was to attack this guy with the tier 4 weapon, it would probably hit most of the time if I was within the range. So yeah, the way weapons work are different. But there is still dodging projectiles because you can outrun missiles, and there are some like dumbfire missiles as well which work like AQ1. They will hit asteroids and things like that, and you can dodge them. But they're meant for like bigger ships. You see over here the Turk is getting hit by, this is just a standard missile, but they are homing. Part of the reason is performance, to have like 1,000 ships all firing projectiles that have to collide constantly is going to kill the server. Part of it was just for the optimization of like this accuracy system. But yeah, there still are some dumbfire weapons that will collide and you will need to dodge. So just reading chat. Chat's based. No, there's a formula to it. There's maths involved, so it does like fall off gradually. Say gradually. I'm drawing the curve in the air with my hand. If I had a camera, you'd see the curve. So just imagine that, and that's what the accuracy curve looks like. So small ships. Sorry, I coughed again. Goodbye ears. Small ships, yeah, can kill bigger ships. But then bigger ships, for example, you could have a tier 4 like dual Vulcan. So it's a tier 4 fitting or weapon turret, but it's actually 2 tier 2 weapons. So you could create like a Titan that had basically a bunch of weapons to take out anything Corvette sized, but would be fairly useless against anything bigger. But that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. Like, you can play with that. You can build the ships however you want to build them. Yeah, so smaller weapons better against smaller ships. But also, big weapons can be multiple smaller weapons. I really hate what I've done with this collision stuff. I apologise. It was so much better yesterday. Target painters and stuff like that. Yeah, perfectly possible. The engine dampener that I showed you was just the start of those kind of weapons, turrets. I want lots more effect-based stuff, things that can reduce enemy shield recharge or drain enemy shields constantly, reduce their accuracy, their range, stuff like that. Do I love Titans? I do, because it makes it easier to play at the minute, because I'm rubbish and I constantly get killed, so I have to have a Titan in order to survive long enough to get some good footage. Because, I mean, you've seen me play AQ1. I'm not good at it. I think that's fair to say. This is just rubbish. I mean, look at this. This is awful. Ships on ships, just stuck. But hey, this is what I'm testing. That's just a mess. Tactically, you can scroll around everywhere now and view what's going on. There's a sensor range, which is this outer circle. Anything beyond that range shows up as just like an icon. That was just a early idea, I guess, of having ships not visible beyond it. Don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. It never really turned out like that fun. It is Unity, but like collisions and stuff are all done on the server side, and it's all my own physics engine. It doesn't like the server doesn't use Unity; it's all programmed in C#, all by hand. So like the collision system in AQ1 is all my own physics engine. So this isn't actually using physics. This is just not physics anyway. This is like my basic programmer maths of if it's closer than this, push it away. For the minute anyway. But it does have some cool avoidance stuff, which I would show you if my ship would stop trying to hump the station and have to warp somewhere.
A large Asteria field situation.
Which, when it works, looks really sexy. Yeah, my version of physics. It basically supports circles and rectangles, and circles can hit rectangles and vice versa. Like things like ramming are possible, as you saw. They were getting rammed then. Getting rammed, that sounds horrible. I can't say that on stream. Alright, so if I tell this dude to fly through here, you should see him avoid the asteroids, in theory. There you go. You know, makes it look quite nice. So if you've got a fleet of ships flying through, it actually looks quite cool. I like that. I was proud of that one. Runs quite well as well, so the server shouldn't die. Because obviously server performance is constantly on my mind because it needs to run well. You can see all the little ships going, oh yeah, okay, around that. Which is what they should be doing with the station rather than just ramming it. Leader of a wing. You can't control other players' ships. But you can, you will be able to like give little prompts if you don't want to like voice chat or type, go, kill him, and it will ping. What do you call that? That's a word for those kind of things, in game. Go here, I need help. There's definitely a word for it. I can't remember. But no, not controlling other people's ships. You can control other AI ships at times. So if you do a mission, you've got like a little helper, you can say, hey, go over there. And there will be fighters that you can control, like in AQ1 with multiple ships. Part of this, so I can spawn some drones. Did they spawn? I don't know if they spawned. Oh yeah, they spawned. Here he is. So he's mine, and he's just a little drone. He'll fly around in formation with me, as will those other little guys. I think my ship's actually faster than them, which doesn't help them. So this is one step of having other ships with you, just drones, like you'd find in AQ1, but they're a bit smarter. And then the next step is actually having another ship with you. These guys regenerate, so when they all die, the fitting will disable, and then you have to re-enable it, and they'll respawn. In terms of AI fleets, all these lines you're seeing here, these grey ones, mean that those ships are considered like a fleet. So if I was to aggro this guy, it would also trigger those, so they work together cooperatively. It's just a little test way of me seeing it. Sometimes they like to go solo. I mean, this guy's just going, and his wing's not keeping up, probably because they're all humping asteroids. Mining drones, yeah, I'll put that in. For sure. For sure. And so auras don't stack. 4 probes don't give me 4 times as much boost. So there are AI miners. There's no one doing anything here. AI is really wonky today. Really screwed it. Ah, yeah. So this was a test of a mission. I'll do that. So this was like mission 1 in the top right. You can see, hey, head here, destroy the 8 drones. These drones should be flying around, but they're not because they don't have any engine speed. Because I didn't give them any. Because they're really annoying trying to see them because I haven't actually got a decent model for the drones. So you see this little mission going, yeah, you killed 4, rah rah rah. Yeah, I've killed 8, and that's like mission complete. What? Is that a drone? Oh, what is that? Did something just fall out of space? I don't know. That's all broken. Anyway, I did that mission, so I can go back and then have a little chinwag with the NPC. Yep, so go back to here and say, hi, I've done the mission. Mission services, chat. I've done it. No, wait, I haven't done it. What am I about? That's the other one, this guy. Destroy 8 drones, complete mission. Boom. And then the next mission is this black market access, which will give me this security key, which will allow me to use the black market. This is kind of like story stuff as well I'm working on. So there's like a narrative. It's pretty poor at the moment, as you can see, but the building blocks are there. So doing this mission will give me this item, and then I can use the black market, which is a player-to-player trading. So I can sell stuff to other people. Yeah, so it wants me to go over here and salvage a black market drive from a ship, which isn't going to work in a minute. I know it's not going to work because I was testing that earlier. That's just part of the mission story stuff. Anything else anyone wants to see? No, sorry, so there's illegal items, and then black market is just a player-to-player market. It's just, I can go, do you want to buy my ship with all these fittings? I'm going to sell it for this much, and other players can buy it. Or I could sell items, you know. Yeah, so illegal items are like stuff that's been modified beyond S quality via naughty means. The idea with that is that it's illegal, so you don't get it back if your ship's destroyed, but it's much more powerful, so there's a risk reward. What else? Did I go over the whole modification thing? So like you've got your turrets, and then you've got modifications you can apply to your turrets. So this one will increase damage but reduce range. You can get various modifications. I'm not sure you can get that many at the minute. No, there's more for the railgun. So let's do some railgun stuff then. I'll show you that. Right, let's get me a railgun.
Railguns are large weapons.
Right, so I've got a railgun. Boom. Railgun's got stats, naturally, range, damage, timing, etc. And then he's got a modification slot. So, got a modification that will do more damage, reduce range, more range but require more energy to fire, more range but more energy. Yeah, it's the same. Testing. So these, I can add that and it will modify that weapon. And then there's also ammunition. So, okay, let's say here, 10% extra damage with this ammunition. Let's buy a bunch of that. Equip that into that slot. Right, so now my railgun has got stats from the modification, and it's got stats from ammo. And ammo is consumable, so every time I fire it will take one of those up. There will be a number displayed there. Don't know actually if that's displayed in the other screen. It's not. But you can just trust me when I say when I fire that railgun it will consume ammunition. That ammunition will be lost when you die. But yeah, so that's a beefed up railgun now. You can make your own ammo, yeah. I'll show you how good that looks in a minute. So creating new ships, you just buy it. Just capitalism, man. Just buy it. Just use your money. Just go here and go, I want to buy this. I want to buy that. Yeah, I want to buy a Star Trader. It hasn't got any default fittings, so I'll have that. And then boom, I'm in a Star Trader. And I can swap between ships and get back to my old Hyperion. If you don't have the money, then you don't have a ship. You just have to use your default Predator. There's no handouts. Right, yeah, so this, alright, just bear with me because this is going to look awful. Earn money without ships. Oh, you'll always have a ship. It'll give you a default one. So when you create a character, you can say whether you want to have like a backstory in mining, trading, or combat, and that will determine your starting ship. So you'll always be given a starting ship based on that. You won't ever not have a ship. Yeah, so the building stuff is something I want to expand on. At the minute you can use ores for building corporation structures and things. I'm hopefully, in a couple of weeks I'll do a really good stream on all the corporation building stuff, because it's a bit buggy at the minute. Yeah, so repairing is just press repair and they do it for you. Recovering your ship depends on what fittings and stuff I had on it. It could be quite cheap. Right, yeah, so player bases. Obviously you've got your main base in AQ1, and that's cool, with your workshop and your research and stuff like that, and I want to have that still. So right, don't well, you can laugh, it's terrible. This sexy screen is your home base. So it's got drone bay, it's got your workshops and your research stuff. It doesn't look like it because it looks like that, but in terms of the code behind it, it's there. I just haven't got around to doing this yet. The idea with your workshop is you can create your own ammo there and things, and craft your own modifications for weapons, and also your shipyard you can use to modify your ships. Like is it like a subsystem? Well, just a bit permanent stats. You can tweak your ship beyond just the fittings and things that you have. Drones can be sent out to gather resources and stuff. There's some drones going out, they're doing their thing, and then you will upgrade your base. One of the nice things about this is your multiple character thing. So we've got support for multiple characters. And I didn't want each character to be like a fresh start from nothing. So there are certain things in the game that are shared between characters, and the idea is that this base you're seeing here, I actually want to turn into like a big like derelict capital ship that you found and you're like doing up. So you'll get a 3D designer on that and it will look cool. The story being that, you've awoken on a pod on this big old wrecked battleship, and then you do it up, and any additional characters you create are unlocked from there, like little hibernation pods on the same ship. So you share this base. So I was reading the chat. Yeah, so that's how you could do it. Yeah, you wouldn't need to build a ship, you could buy on the market. That isn't to say that you can't build ships, but there's a market where you can just buy your ships. There's like there's a player market and the NPC market, because you could buy a ship off of the black market if you wanted to, like a better fitted one that's been tweaked up. Right, so yeah, sorry, the characters. So all of your characters share this base. So if I was to log out as Krabby and log back in as someone else, this would be the same base I would see. Like the same workshop access, the same research and all that. It's all shared. And there's also other things that are shared, which I think I put in the blog. So like achievements. Well, this is actually the medals screen. It's a bit confusing. These are my personal ones, but there are also achievements for all of your characters that share bonuses and things. I'm going to have to just do another stream on that because it's just confusing because I don't have the interface stuff to back it up. But basically, yeah, you can share stuff between characters. You won't start again, as it were, which is nice. You know, you can have one character where you've spec'd into mining because there's a skill tree now. Then you can have one character that you've spec'd into combat. I know, everyone wants Nemacorns. Everyone wants Nemacorns. And you can have Nemacorns. I can do Nemacorns now. I don't know about resetting it, I haven't thought about that yet, but yeah, probably why not. I mean, a lot of the time I say, yeah, probably, why not? Go back to what? What was what? Right. Stupid cold. Oh, the shield icon was just skill tree stuff because I don't have actual icons. You get skill points over time, and you get skill points for doing various things in game, and then you use those skill points to unlock the skill tree. It's like the starting skill tree, you know, shield strength, and then you can spec into shield regeneration speed or resistance or overall shield strength, and then you spec further into strength for like battleships here, titans, destroyers, and then you spec again into some bigger bonuses right at the bottom if you've completed your skill tree. The other ones don't work at the minute, but there will be skill trees for those as well. But yeah, skill tree. The skill tree on that one, let's do it again. These apply to everything, and then so like you start off just speccing your overall shield strength, and I'll say okay, I want more shield strength, so I'll go down this side of the tree, and then these ones are for individual types of ships. So this is all corvettes. If I spec into this, all corvettes will get a bonus to shield strength, and if I spec all of these, then I can unlock this one. Now if I spec everything on the tree and all these three, then I unlock this one, and that applies to everything. So yeah, it's like a little... Well, that's a proper skill tree, isn't it? It's not just clicking left and right on a plus and minus button like AQ1. It's actually, you know, fleshed out. It's what I wanted to do, but couldn't. So all these things, like, it's just like, I look at it and go, it's so much nicer than AQ1. But I know everyone knows the backstory on AQ1, and you know, I had to make it part-time, and I didn't have the luxury of, well, time to do these kind of things. Yeah, I'll show some more like Corporation War stuff once that's working a bit better. I don't think at the moment I've got anything on my corporation. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love AQ1, that's why I was working on it for so long. It's just lots of little bits that I'd just love to improve but can't, because you know the core of the engine is just not right. In terms of alpha beta, I don't know. I am obviously talking to publishers and investors at the minute. I did an event earlier this year, and it's going well. I had problems with AQ1 getting a publisher and investor because it was just me, and no one really believed that I could make the game, which is fair enough, because if you've only got one guy going, hey, I'm going to make this cross-platform space MMO, rah, 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 you know, the normal response is forget about it. Whereas now I've got AQ1 and I can say, look, it's been done, so I'm going to do the second one, and the second one's going to be all the bells and whistles, you know. So the conversations are going good, but I have to have those conversations before deciding on alpha and beta release, because if I do that before the publisher steps in, then they might want to do something different. It just makes the conversations harder. You know, they're less likely to go with it. What's wrong with the engine? So AQ1 was just built. Was the first big MMO like that I built, and there's so much code in that. I mean, I don't even know how many lines of code are in AQ1. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a couple of million. And there are just things that are so like intrinsic to the engine that it's hard to change. Like obviously with like version 1.5, a lot changed, and that was at the time as like literally as far as I could kind of push those changes. You've still got like the core mechanics of like battles that are instanced and things like that, and like those kind of things I can never change. And there's just other bits like you know, even things like so when you have to collect your event rewards, you've got like 24 hours, and you know, people will go, well, why can't you just send me the event rewards like into an inbox so I collect whenever I want? I'm like, yeah, I would love to do that. That would be great, but like structurally on the code and the database layout, I can't. It would kill the database, and it would take like 24 hours to actually send everything out, and everything would go slow, and like just like little things like that. So there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm really proud of AQ1. I think it's really cool. Some of the upgrades with like when we didn't have like projectiles that would collide with anything originally, they would just go straight through stuff and hit the target or not. And then that all changed, and that was like a good step. And then, you know, destructible things and all the little extras in the battles and stuff. So the engine was good, and I used a fair amount of it, and certainly a lot of learning from AQ1 in AQ2, but just with all those feature requests in mind, which is why this is so much more expansive than AQ1. Yes, sorry, yeah, you know, the suggestions and stuff and whatnot. Like I do as much as I can with AQ1, but like character renaming, like that's like a really obvious thing now. Yeah, why can't you rename characters in AQ1? You just can't, because the way I did the database, like it uses your character's name as the identifier for everything. So if I was to change your character's name, it can't link up any mail, it can't link up your account or anything like that, or you know, it breaks everything, and I can't ever change that. So again, small thing that you'd think would be easy, but actually is quite literally impossible for me to do in AQ1. In AQ2, by the way, you can rename your character. Yeah, I wonder if I can do that now. I don't know if I've got the screen there. I think I changed it to this. Yeah, I changed it to the edit profile screen. But yeah, you can rename your character. In terms of alts and things, there's more validation in AQ2. So there's email validation. I've got things for checking whether or not people are using like temporary email accounts and stuff like that. And then there's a load of bits and pieces. I think I've shared a few things on the Discord, like checking if IPs have been reused from different places and whatnot, and Yeah, there's a lot of extra checks around outs, but you're still gonna have a problem. Like you can't. People get VPN. People get one button on their phone where they can change all their IDs so they look like someone completely new. So I can go in, I can go VPN. Here's my ID of this device. So I'm playing in the UK, and then literally within a second later, it looks like a completely new device coming out of Australia. So they just create a new Hotmail account, they've added their email, blah blah. And I mean, even big companies have this problem, right? It's not exclusive to AQ. I mean, there's bots in everything. And as much as I would like there to be none, we're always going to have that problem. But I have made sure in AQ2 there are more checks. More checks than AQ1. So I'm doing my best on that. I'm not going to say there's going to be none, because there will be. It's just a fact of how the technology works. You can't track someone completely. In terms of getting information on the device, like with Apple these days, and so, yeah, you can just go into your settings and go, give me a new ID, and it looks like, from my perspective as a developer, it looks like someone completely new has come into the game. Impossible to track. But I'm also removing some of the rationale for outs, right? So you've got multiple characters, and that's just a small step. So that's not legitimizing outs, because you can't play two characters at the same time on the same account. But it's just a little step, towards trying to solve the problem. So I'm ranting now, but yeah, we'll do what we can. I'll do what I can, and then you guys can ping me all the outs, and I'll start banning people again. The point of multiple characters is because your character progression is quite heavy in this, like your skill trees and stuff, and you've got a lot of things linked to your character, like titles and just gonna say skins, but no, if you buy a ship skin that's on your account, you can use that with any character. But there's more stuff based on your character. So if you want a character which is fighting, and you want a character that's mining, you can do that. It's just options basically. If you want the option there. And also with the map, so this is actually only at the minute a bit of the core region. So let's say I've got a character over here who's my little mining character, and then I've got a character off over here who's my combat character. Well, I say I've got two combat characters for this scenario, it makes more sense. And my corporation's being attacked, but I'm over here, and it's going to take me a while to fly back over here, so I can just jump to my other character and fight with that character. Things like that, you can do that if you want. It's just about having options. There's no unicorns. I'm banning you. You're banned. In terms of warping, yeah, so I've gone around in circles with that one. So the lines you're seeing now are warp lines. Like that's showing the path from that sector to here, that's showing a path from there. The idea being you have to jump between all of those. I like it, but I don't like it. Yeah, you will be able to trace your names back. It keeps a name history, so yeah, don't worry about that. You can't change your name and then have someone else use your old name. That will still be reserved. So yeah, names are logged. What was I saying? Yeah, jumping. Yeah, so it is tedious. I agree that's tedious, and I don't want someone just to be playing like a walking simulator. So what you're seeing now is kind of halfway. The idea is that, let's take this sector here. So this is Orion. All the OR sectors here. I'm going to have you freely warp between any of these, so you can ignore these lines here, but you would still need to warp to another area. I mean, I can warp anywhere at the minute, so it doesn't really help, but for example, if I jump out, so I'm in OR1, I can warp over to 4, I don't need to follow this little warp line, ignore that. I can warp over there, and I can just warp wherever I want within these. But if I want to go over here, I will need to warp to OR5 and take the jump gate over to here. So it's a mix. And then I could warp from SAO3 straight to SAO4, and then take the warp gate over to this one over here. In terms of how large the map's going to be, I'm hoping it'll be pretty big. And then, actually, this is this is the belt. These 4 sectors over here. So this link here, this is the core region, and then it goes over to the belt. If I go here, it might work actually. It's been a long time since I tested this. There should be a big warp gate that you have to pay to use. I say pay, it's obviously in-game stuff. This is not real money. So let's warp there and see if there is a jump gate. And then your cost to transit that gate is dependent on your type of ship and your cargo hold. No, right, look, there's no jump gate.
Hostile ships detected. AQ
So no jump gate at all. It had been a long time since I tested that, so that's fair. So I'd come here, I'd see the warp gate, I'd go, pew! I'm going to pay you 100 credits for chips, so I'm going to jump to this sector here. Yeah, there'll be Xeno gates, and there'll be wormholes and stuff like that as well. I think there might be a Xeno gate somewhere actually at the minute. Any Xenos active? No, drone swarms active. There are these little sector events. See if it'll work. So there's a drone swarm attack in the sector at the minute. Yeah, so sorry, the size of the map is going to be like, that was the core region, there's belt, and then there's frontier, and then there's the cloud, and then there's edge. I can't remember what else. I think if we come here, all the drones have already been killed. Oh no, they're not. They're there. This is the drone swarm. Again, I haven't got any speed on them, so they're just going to sit there and take these missiles. Which is not great using swarm for that. They're not even shooting back. What kind of drone swarm? Oh, there they go. Are they shooting each other? Yes. Okay, that's awesome. That's broken, but awesome. Yeah, so little mini events like that, which will work. I swear they'll work. Subsector from AQ1. I'm not sure what you mean, Senor Balloon. Gonna get those drones moving and stop shooting each other. That should be a fairly easy fix. But this is an example of like a little mini event that happens. So you get drone swarms, you get Xeno invasions, you get little pirate attacks and stuff like that. And they just had a bit more flavour alongside the big major events. I think that shooting each other is great. Oh, event detected. So what's that one? Assault event. Oh, that's a main event. That's not working at all at the minute because that's not done. Yeah, missiles have a maximum range, so they'll only fly for like 3 seconds and then blow up. In terms of how much of a threat is the Xeno, I'm hoping loads more, because one, I could spawn like 500 of them in a sector if I wanted to. Oh, I died. I didn't even notice myself die. But yeah, I want them to be a bigger threat, but there's more to do on that, and there's more to explain later in regards to Xeno and stuff. I don't know what was shooting me. I wasn't paying any attention. Probably something broken, something invisible. Wouldn't be surprised. But hey, look, respawn. Let's see if that works. Okay, so I've respawned my default ship as a Hyperion, and I respawned in my home base. My home base on the map. I forgot. Yeah, your home base is actually a physical place on the map you can fly to. It's all for you. No one can go there. It's just you, lonely old you. Yeah, there could have been an invisible ship there for sure, because the drones don't have 3D models yet. Could have been just flying around, being invisible. It's the problem when I don't have like a 3D artist at the same time. So like, there's just invisible stuff. No, you can't destroy the people's bases. This is your base, and it exists only there, only for you and your other characters on your account. I don't know how you're going to get from there to anywhere. At the minute, you can just go wherever you want from it, but you'll be able to warp out somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe get new places for player bases if I want to move my player base. No, you can't shoot while stealth. I will show you. Let's get a stealth surface. Those icons are not refreshed. Oh no, there's no market at this station, is there? Because I'm at my home base. So stealth's cool. Stealth's new. Stealth's got bells and whistles. So while stealthed, nothing can target you. You can still be hit by AoEs, but you can't be directly targeted, and you can't target anyone else either. You'll break stealth. But if you come close to another ship, your stealth can kind of degrade so that you can get targeted. So you can be detected if you get too close to someone. It's not like you can just fly around everywhere stealth. Like some ships will have like auras for stealth detection, for example, which is cool if you're up against stealthy people. So there's a stealth surface, which is just stealth for me and no one else, and there's a stealth aura, which I know it's on a Hyperion at the moment. It won't be, but there will be. Auras for bigger ships only. Let's just buy all this. Quick like no, right, so let's go do that. Stealth detection, if I'm understanding that right, then no. Like, if I'm detected but my friend's still stealth, they'll still be stealth. Yeah, you can stealth your wing. So these little drones are about to pop out are considered part of my wing. So if I've got some of my friends flying along with me, I can activate my stealth projector and it will stealth them as well. Like that. And my turrets don't go stealth because why not? But you see, he's gone out of stealth because he's flown off. When he comes back in to come into formation, stealth. And if I was to start firing upon someone, it would break stealth. Now, if I try and go stealth while he's firing at me, if he wants to engage me, you'll see the form of like disrupted stealth. So you see my ship trying to go stealth, but taking damage. The same effect if someone's too close. But if I was to run away, and not get hit for a while, stealth will re-engage fully, and I'd completely cloak. But they're all after me, so that's never going to happen. But yeah, and then stealth projector, and then there's a only me stealth as well. Which doesn't work because I've been playing with the projector, isn't it? And then I've been ignoring that stealth. Hashtag sad. With better equipment, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can get different tiers, which is upgraded in your workshop. The largest ship's probably just like the imp. Yeah, so if I was to actually avoid getting hit for a while, the stealth would fully activate and they would no longer be able to attack me. So you can run away in stealth. In terms of weapon abilities, at the minute, no. It's just the firing stuff, which is why I wanted those siege weapons in, because they act more like weapons with abilities. because there's quite a lot to manage at the minute. Because you can target multiple ships, and there's new things like slowing ships down, disrupting targeting, etc. So I didn't know if like ship abilities would be better. But yeah, hit and run is on the table. What time is it? Almost my bedtime. Right, yeah, cool. A couple more questions and then I'm going to bed. Because I've got a 1-year-old daughter and she's going to be up all night. See the big Titan? Why not, eh? Why not? If I can get a cool looking model and it works in game, I'm not averse to that. I'll just make sure that I'm the only one that can use it. You cannot fly into the sun. If you want, like, I could just have a trigger on your account that every time you log in, it will just say you died by flying into the sun, and then just log you out. Like, and it could post a message in chat saying they did it again. Wow. Okay. Well, if it's a this is a big thing. Suicide by sun. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. If there's, you know, an audience for this kind of thing, then, you know, I'm happy to do it. Why not? This is what alphas and stuff are for, right? Feature requests. I want to commit suicide in the sun. Vote it up. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna go, because, as I say, bedtime. Yeah, so I'll do another stream, so I'm not coughing into the mic, and fix all those little things we saw today. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks' time, as I say, I can show you all the corporation building stuff, because that's really cool. There's like trade lanes and new bits and pieces for that. That's really much more involved. Really good. I say really good. I'm the one that did it, of course I'm going to say that. Everyone else will probably just say, you know, words I can't say on Twitch. Cool, alright. Night all.